I may not have a shop of my own, but today we are going to be going over to Nowhere and helping bring my buddy's vision for his shop to life and tweak it just a bit. Right now in the Nowhere shop, everything that is actually utilized is hidden in the workshop drawers below, and above the crates, even though there's a mess right now, are typically aesthetically pleasing and styled for when they have weddings here. We believe there is a beautiful blend to make function and aesthetically pleasing styling moments come together and be a fully functional shop corner. The first thing that I like to do for any renovation, transformation, makeover, refresh, what have you, is clean up and clean out. And that includes literally everything in the room. So Brig and myself just went through and organized every single tool that he and Bobby had, and we just made sure we were just making sense of the piles the most that we could as we went along. Crates on the wall were such an incredible idea. We're not changing that. We're just utilizing everything but the top row that you can't reach to be a functioning tool shelf. So while we were organizing all of the tools, we kind of grouped them together in 18 different groups to correspond with the amount of crates we were going to be organizing into. To make this more aesthetically pleasing, because that's just how we do it over here, we started to pull more of the black non-labeled tools since he wanted the accent to be black throughout his shop, making those priority going up on the wall. And then anything that was a little bit quote-unquote unsightly, if you will, we were going to put in the drawers down below. Rule number one for a shop is most definitely let the owner of the shop have full control because they're using it. So I just stepped back and watched Brig's brain go and start to lay out the first crate, and I kind of followed suit by hanging up different organizational things for drill bits or even different types of wrenches or pliers. Like these magnetic strips are super handy. And I loved being able to just watch Brig work in his shop, how his brain goes to pull for tools. I did get creative with one of the crates because he typically charges his batteries just sitting out on the workshop table and then they get put away. So his batteries never get charged. But I think if they're visible, you'll always be charging your batteries. So I drilled a couple of holes to run the power cord through the back, and then we hung it with the hanging holes that are on the back of each battery charger up into the crate and then that crate into the wall, and made a little bit of a shelf situation for 3 different batteries to sit on top of. So not only can 3 be charged at all times, but 3 fully charged ones can be sitting above it. I mean, it looks insane. I like to have a little fun in between the function, so I decided to start to style the top row of crates, like I said before, to be more aesthetically pleasing, non-functional, with vintage pieces that tie in really what Nowhere is, what happens in the shop, down to the titles of the books and even like the different manuals hung up on the wall. I just was having so much fun. When we start making our way to the left, I made a power tool moment that just kind of corresponded with the bits and bobs that went to each power tool within each crate. You guys, I am enjoying this take on a pegboard, if you will. I am so inspired to get my ish together over on my property to start a shop of my own. The Nowhere family has had so many incredible moments documented via Polaroids and film photos that have been printed out, so I decided to gather them all and display them on the negative space between the workshop table and the crates itself, and also hopefully inspire people to push pin more moments on top of it and just have like layers of different memories. It really feels like when you come into this corner, not only are you physically building, but you can see the life that is being built here as well. I have spray painted tools before, but my mistake that I made previously was using just regular spray paint. I decided to customize a couple of the tools that were too bright of color for the shop wall with this plastic dip spray, which you can't leave out in heat to dry. You need to bring in and let it cool off for a day and let it cure, but it's so much stronger, and I'm hoping less like chippable than what I used on my own tools. Continuing to detail the shop even more, we had some leftover walnut from the shop suite makeover that I did with Article, and Brig ripped that down to size to be this wooden inlay that actually was there previously when he first purchased these workshop drawers, and we just added some nice dark walnut oil to bring that beautiful out, and then I used construction adhesive to pop that right into place and some clamps. We are going to take a quick break to talk about and thank today's sponsor, HelloFresh. If you guys aren't aware, I am a huge fan of HelloFresh. I was a fan before I actually worked with them, and they single-handedly inspired me to get into cooking because they made it so easy being delivered directly to my door with different meal options every week. HelloFresh allows you to customize your box by swapping out one of the proteins or side for another. You can upgrade for a more luxe experience or adding protein to a veggie meal. That means you have more choices, more variety, and more meals truly tailored to you. I personally get the veggie option every week and then I add protein if I want to, but they offer pescatarian and a fit and wholesome meal to make it easy to stick to your goals. The HelloFresh recipes also include pre-portioned ingredients. That means less prep for you and less wasted food. Win-win. If you guys are interested in giving HelloFresh a go, you can head over to HelloFresh.com and use my code METZ16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. Again, you can head over to HelloFresh.com and use my code METZ16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. As I'm continuing to dial in the shop, I really couldn't help myself but do a little mini gallery wall refresh and bring over some of the incredible artwork, like this painting that Brig did himself. He also did the Smoking Lady and the Master Suite that we made over recently. And so again, I wanted to bring more personality over here and texture by hanging out vintage tools to represent that we're building in here, family photos from moments that have happened here on Nowhere, local artistry. Just there's a bunch of different gifts, photos, memorabilia that's going right here in this little wall that again just kind of speaks to what the shop is.
Okay, we're adding some more details to the school organization. So now I'm staring directly at the room across from me, and tell me if this doesn't ever happen to you, but you start making over or cleaning up a corner and then you want to move to the rest of the house. So let's go ahead and do that.
This room is gorgeous as is. Everything that Brig and Bobby did here with the TV wall, the vintage motorcycle up on the corner, the storage behind the couch that you see Allie organizing is truly beautiful. What I'm gonna come in and do is do a thorough, deep clean into the nooks and crannies that people haven't touched for quite some time. I'm really just buying a couple new pillows because I really do love the pop of green, but my main thing is adding a few plants that can grow healthily in this room with the light that is provided and add some life into this corner. From just adding a couple of larger green plants that can grow and kind of twist and wrap around the items available in the space to upping the ante with something a little bit beefier on the coffee table, I feel like we're just bringing out the loudness of this room more, but with more subtle decor, which is a little bit ironic. There were a couple of photos stacked on this small portion of wall. I shifted them just a little bit to make more sense of the space and added a third photo, again, to just kind of clean up the gallery wall that was in this room. What a difference. I mean, I know that we were in the middle of a project when we showed the before of this, but truly look at this after. To have like a fully functioning wall space in the shop is a game changer. There really is nothing that I love more than staying inside during a heat wave with full air conditioning, which my home does not have. But more than that, I love helping my friends and just getting their spaces together when they kind of just don't know where to start. Like they know that they can do it, but they're like, help. And it's like, okay, let's go. What I love on top of that is adding my special little Rachel details, like styling those top shelves with the vintage pieces and just adding those photos to showcase the memories that have been happening here. And when you come over here to the living room side, which by the way has a projection screen that you pull down when you're sitting on the couch looking at the tools, but anyways, I digress. When in doubt, truly plant it out. I mean, this room is rad as is, but it did look dusty with the vintage that was happening with no life. So we kind of added some life into this living room a little bit. I will say it once, I will say it again, I will say it a million times. Desert life is truly the best life, but it was even better is creating a community and a family to be around here where I can learn new things, such as potentially work on bikes, which you see me unloading and loading not so gracefully. Anywho, I hope you love the shop update. Maybe you get a new take on how to organize your tools into a space that can also be aesthetically pleasing, because remember, it doesn't just have to be functional, it can be fun. Stay cool out there for the people that are going through heat waves such as myself. Drink lots of water, stay hydrated, and get an ice cube and rub it all over your face. That's my form of AC over here. I'll see you soon for another DIY.